Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Smart Networker. I'm Dave Rolfe, and today is it's the 21st of November. Man, just keeps going faster and faster. And so today we're going to do a very interesting presentation on, what you want to, how do you utilize the compensation plan to get what you want? I think you'll find at the end of it, you'll be able to see that clearly. And once it's posted on the website, daverolfe.com, and also on WhatsApp, there will be a PDF that you can download so that you can use it or put it into your presentations or what have you. So let me share my screen here and we'll get underway. Okay, from the beginning. So how to get what you want by using the compensation plan. And of course, it's being presented by moi. So the first question is, how does our business work? Now, when someone buys a product, that's how it works. When someone becomes a distributor and buys products and finds customers who buys products and signs up other distributors who buy products and finds customers who buy products and signs up other distributors who buy products, and so on and so on and so on and so on. See, that's how it works, really. And that's how it's always worked from the beginning of time. So it's a rather interesting concept. But what makes it work? Well, what makes it work is having a goal, having a purpose, a reason, what we call a why. Following the rules of engagement. One of the things I learned, in this business is you got to play by the rules. I mean, that's what you have to do in life, right? You have to play by the rules of life, and if you don't, boy, you can get squashed real quickly. Laying out an agenda of activities, learning how to do them, doing the activities that are known to work. I mean, keeping your eye on the prize. Monitoring activities and results, and of course producing something valuable and worthwhile. This is what makes it work, right? Now this starts with figuring out what it is that you want so that you can understand what you need to do. Very simple principle. This is a business 101. This is not unusual, and it's of course going to be based on the company plan. Which is very important. So what they set out there is, and that allows you to go do things. So today we're going to see an example of building a business that generates about $10,000 per month by the end of the first year or the end of a given period of time. I've used a year because that's, you want to get up there as quickly as possible. In the process of building this business, you would earn about $46,000 in the course of the year and generate about $10,000 or more in bonuses for building to this level. And of course, what's fascinating here is this then could double or would double or triple in the second year or the third year. So it's a stepping stone. But we want to start with a realistic time frame of 1 year to get this done. If it takes longer, so be it. Simply stay focused on until you do what's required. And you've heard a couple of my stories that some of my goals took 2 years. Fine, but I just stayed, put the pedal to the metal. So now the first piece of information that you need to understand is what typically must be produced and in place every month so that you can earn this 10 grand or more. Once you know this, then you simply work it backwards until you reach the starting point. Then by reversing directions, you actually create the roadmap, the directions, and the list of activities that you need to do in order to get the monthly targets done, and then of course reach your goal. And you're going to see this in the coming slides. Now, you're basically going to be doing 3 main activities that will make up this objective. The first is sell products, okay? And the second is sign up distributors who also sell products and sign up distributors. And the third is help those you sign up and their teams build valuable businesses. In other words, it doesn't make much sense to sign somebody up and not do anything. And but therefore you need to know the company compensation plan details to see what they will pay based on what results you produce. And this is really very important. Now, customer acquisition, that's you earn a 20% commission. Rebates on personal sales on the commissionable volume, executive will earn 10% and a silver to royal earns 20%. Group rebates on directs and executives. On directs, you can earn 10% up to 20%. And on an executive, it's 5% up to 10%, and based on qualifications. We'll get it. You can look up the policies and procedures and get the details, but this is the general viewpoint that you want to look. And then, of course, leadership bonuses, you earn 6% up to 6 generations below you. And then incentives are always extra. And I'll tell you why very shortly. Now, always look at the end result first. Your objective of 10,000 per month in terms of how this could be created so that you can understand what activities need to be done. Then you simply choose where to work based on what it is you want. Very important, what you want, where to work. Now, in most cases, you're going to use a combination of all of the income areas and some more than others. I did not include incentives. Treat them as extra bonuses and not income. This way you'll end up with way more than you wanted. And it's an interesting little trick. Now, first, let's talk about customer acquisition. It's the first activity, and this is very important. And let's understand this completely as to what you earn. And you want to get at least 2 to 3 new customers each month, and then create a plan for repeat sales monthly on a subscription program. Now, every distributor earns 20% retail commission on personal sales. Average sale in Nican is about $256. The average commission is around $51.20. Directs don't earn a rebate, so there's nothing there. An executive rebate is $12.80, and our leadership rebate is $25.60. So again, we're looking at a general overview of how to reach a goal and objective. Obviously, if your sales are different, then that's fine, but it's the percentage, and we'll see that shortly as well. Now, distributor acquisition is the other activity, and this is very important. Let's understand this completely. So to see what you earn, and there are 2 segments or areas of earning from a distributor. One is when they're part of your personal group, and the other is when they become leaders themselves, and that would be the goal for them, right? To bring them in and then make them a leader. Now, if you sign up a new distributor, make sure it's for the right reason. If you want, if they want to buy at a discount, then you sell them product at a discount that you create. Well, I hear a lot of times, I signed up another distributor because they just wanted to buy it wholesale. Well, you don't make any money in that transaction, and this isn't a charity, as you will come to see. And people, you got to earn the discounts. That's an important aspect. Well, anyway, it's your choice. You can do what you want, but just a concept and an idea to think about. Now, in the distributor, direct and executive income, the first part is the group rebates that you earn from that direct and the executive. And those are the people that you sponsor and the people that they sponsor. Now, you saw earlier, this can be anywhere from 5 to 20%. Well, why 5%? Well, in the compensation plan, if you look at it, if you're an unqualified leader, you don't make the full 20%, and an executive makes 10. You get 15, they get 10, therefore there's the 5. You can want to look at this in more detail, but again, we're just a general overview first, and then we'll get into the details. And then obviously the difference is based on their rank and your rank. And as a leader, silver and above is where you make the most, and that's really where you want to get to quickly. And on average, I found that you earn about 10% from this group of people in your business over time. Now, finally, it's leadership bonuses, and those are 6% up to 6 generations of leaders below you, and based on the CV that is produced in those groups. As an example, a silver or above, and they produce 5,000 in CV, you would earn 5,000 times 6% or 300. But what's important to look at is what happens when you produce a gold in your business. What's that worth on a monthly basis? Or a platinum, what's that worth? Or a diamond, what's that worth? Or a royal diamond, what's that worth? And that's a way that you can look at the value of what it is that you're producing over time and how it grows. You're going to see this as we move forward here. Now, earlier on in my career, I learned that to earn residual income, you needed to develop an organization of leaders. Okay. Therefore, the majority of your income will come from this area of developing an organization. And I also learned that if I help someone on my team move up the compensation plan, in other words, change ranks, gold, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, they would earn more and I would earn more. Interesting. So it behooved me to help them move up. So now let's look at the details. Now, here's a simple formula for the rate of commissions and rebates for someone that is a qualified leader, and that's silver and above, and they've met their PPV and their PGPV requirements. And here it's 30%. So it's just a quick calculation. So if you did $10,000, you want to make $10,000, which is our goal, and the rate was 30%, you're a leader that's fully qualified, then you'd have to sell 33,000 in retail. Okay, simple. Now, do you have the time? Do you have the machine? Do you have the mechanism to do that, et cetera, et cetera? But it all scales down. So if you wanted to make $300 a month, then you'd have to sell $1,000 worth of retail. Now, if you are a direct, you only earn 20%. If you're an executive, you earn a combined between the retail commission and your personal rebate, 25%. And again, you can figure these things out based on the sales, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, here's the formula to estimate income from your directs and executives. And as you learned earlier, it's approximately 10%. Obviously, some are going to be different, depends on how many you have, and you're looking at time and you're looking at averages, but it's about 10%. So again, if you wanted to have an income of $10,000, then you're going to need to have 100,000 CV. And now you have to understand, well, how much is a director or an executive going to produce? And we're going to get into those numbers very shortly. But this is, again, just to give you a rough idea. So if you wanted to earn $300 in a month, then and your rate was 10%, then you'd have to produce 3120 in CV. Now, for estimating purposes only, CV is approximately 50% of the retail price and 65% of the distributor cost or wholesale. Now, there are exceptions to the rule. There are some products that are higher and some that are a little bit lower. But again, it's an average, just to give you a scope to think and plan and strategize and move forward. And obviously, if it's more, you make more. So that's the message. Now, here's a simple formula to estimate income from leadership bonuses. And again, it's the income divided by rate of pay equals CV required. So in this case, 10,000 divided by 6% is 166,666 in CV. Now you've got varying incomes here that you could look at. So let's say you needed to make 1,250 a month. So then you divide that by 6%, then you've got a 20,000 CV target, et cetera, et cetera. And this again is for estimating purposes. CV is approximately 50% of the retail price, 65% of the distributor cost or the wholesale price. Now, here's the number of individuals producing volume within your organization. Now, volume just doesn't appear. It comes about as a result of people. And I've seen and experienced from my involvement with this business and this company that obviously the more people we have, the more money can be put on the table, the more volume is created. But let's say, just again, we're looking at our goal here of 10,000, and that's a CV of 166,000. What would the numbers potentially be? Well, if your average was 500, you'd need 332 people. If your average was 1,000, you'd need 166 people. And if your average was 1,500, you'd need about 111 people. Now, you could look at the various volumes, and again, you can associate this with various incomes, but this chart will give you a scale. So you can look at, well, let's say I only want to make 5,000. Well, then that's the 83,000 in CV. Then these numbers would apply. Let's say I only want to make 2,500. Well, then these numbers would apply. Let's say, again, this was the design of this. Okay. Now, here's another piece of information, and that is to understand what your group or a group of leaders does. So for example, a gold, a platinum, a silver with 5 or 6 silvers underneath them, and the average group runs around 10 people. So if you had 33 groups doing 5,000, then that would generate 166,000 CV, and that would generate 10,000 per month. If you had 16 groups that made 10,000 CV, then again, you'd reach the same target. And if you had 11 groups doing 15,000, you'd create the same end result of 167. Well, why do you want to look at this? Well, what I found very important in my success was that by helping somebody else become successful, I became successful. So if I help somebody reach they were capable of doing that, then benefit of that would be like, what does a diamond do? Well, they do 100,000 a month. What does a royal diamond do? 300,000 a month. So you get to then pick and choose, where you want to work. But you're going to see the next set of numbers, which becomes even more important to understand in playing this game to help you build the business. Okay. And this is our technology. It's the technology of structure. And again, you can utilize that language in today's society because it is a technology. It's the tech of how to build this business so that it works properly. And it's based on this. So I've given a number of examples here of sponsoring 2, of sponsoring 3, of sponsoring 4, or sponsoring 6 people. And what happens if that is repeated? Now, do not take this as rote. This is just to explain a concept of growth. So if 2 each got 2, then you'd have and these are the levels down through your pay. And I put the 7th because the 7th is earned when they're developed by the 6th. And so then the totals down below. So if 2 got 2 each, that's 4. Who got 2 each is 8. Who got 2 each is 16, etc. That's your growth. Well, what if you did 3? 3 is 9, 27, 81, 243. Well, what if you did 4? Now, do you see so this is your potential. And what's really important is to look at your compensation plan. It pays down to here. And look at these numbers based on starting here. So it's not necessarily what you do that's going to get you to where you want to get. It's what the group does. It's team. It's a team. And it's, if you understand that, it makes it easier to perceive and see how you can get to what you want. I run into a lot of people that get overwhelmed by the large number and what they have to do. But really what they have to do is 2, 3, 4, or 6. Not 64, 729, 30, 72, 46, 656. That's a result of doing 2, 3, 4, and 6. And then how you focus your attention and what people understand. And very, very important. Now, let's look at the component parts that you get to play with. So you've got retail as a direct is 20%. Retail and rebate as an executive is 25%. Retail and rebate as a leader is 30%. Distributor override rebate as an exec is 10%. And distributor override rebate as a leader, silver and above, is anywhere from 5 to 20%. And distributor leadership bonuses as a silver, you earn 6%, 2 levels, gold 6%, 3 levels, platinum 6%, 4, diamond 6%, 5, and royal diamond 6%, 6. Now, again, these are your component parts that you get to utilize to build your business. Now, I really want to emphasize that word build. See, it's like you're a contractor, you're building a business. An entrepreneur builds his business. It's all, you got to build it, which means you've got to do things and you got to do the right activities. But it's really important to understand the component parts so you can focus where you need to focus to get, again, what it is that you want to get to. And you're going to want to review this a couple of times, but I probably reviewed this 50 million times. production targets. Okay, I'm going to give you a new word. It's a target. And production targets. And this chart is a compilation of everything that you probably want to use. And it starts off with the month 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So that's 1 year. And it's your incomes that are generated. You start with 150 in month 1, and you end up with 10,000 at the end of 12 months. And you earn in that period of time a total of 46,462. I didn't put in any of the incentives or the trips or those kind of things. Those are extras. They're not income. They're, you go on a trip and they pay for the trip. So I really don't like confusing income with benefits. Benefits are a different thing. Then it moves into the next column, which is your retail sales or retail activity. So it starts off with month 1, 3 sales, month 2, 3 sales, month 3, 3 sales. Now, starting for the 4th month, and you're going to see this in a progression later on, you're going to change your focus. And it's going to be more on the people that you sponsored and building their businesses than your own personal. But you got to get started, and you're going to have activities, and you're going to get referrals. And the more success you have, the easier it becomes. It's just that simple. Then you move out to the retail volume you will create. And again, this chart goes month 1 all the way to month 12. Your commission, what you earn from month 1 through month 12, number of new distributors that you sponsor, and then the distributors that your group sponsors. So 2 different areas. One, you sponsor somebody, but they're also going to be sponsoring, and then they're also going to be sponsoring. So it grows at a different rate than just what you do. And then your personal group point volume, which is a necessary, and what you're basically going to earn. And the earnings is in CV, so the amounts are in PV. And so you just figure it's retail PV. So again, it's just a simple calculation. So if the retail's 15,000, that's what your group produces. You earn the CV, which is usually 50%. So again, this is for estimating. This is to set targets. The actual specific end result could be different. But from what I've experienced over time, we're pretty much spot on here in the general sense of how you build your business. Okay. Now, once you've got through retail and your basic just directs and executives income, then the balance is going to come from the development of the main course, the leaders underneath you, because that's where the majority of the volume is. That's the purpose. Again, if you look at the compensation plan, it doesn't say, direct executive silver stop. It says direct executive silver gold, and then platinum. And then, so that's the scheme of things. So that's the direction you push, everybody goes. And again, just with what we've said or what you've heard so far in this presentation, you get the message. And then you have your CV requirements. So again, the balance to earn. So let's look at month 4, for example. So here the target was $1,250. You got 2 more sales. You did a total of 512. I'm using the averages. You made $194. You sponsored 1 new person, and in your organization, 12 new distributors came in, and the PGPB was 10,000, of which 5,000 was the CV. You made $500, but so you still need to make an additional 556. So where's that coming from? Well, it's got to come from the development of leaders, and that's where it does. So you need 9,266 CV or 18,000 in points. So again, it's giving you a target to create and focus your attention on, and this is what's important. Now, let's say that you go back to month 3, the goal was 625, and you're going to see what happens, because I'm going to do month by month by month here, not on the whole thing, but just on the first 3 months, so you get a concept. But this is a chart you can use. Now, let's say, for example, you wanted to make just $3,750 a month. Well, then you've just followed that. What do you have to do? And here it just lays out what needs to be done. So you can use this in 2 ways. One for building the whole thing, or building segments of it. And at the bottom, you've got the totals. So what this chart identifies many options that can be achieved. And from here, you can see what is required to earn various amounts of income and most importantly, where the production needs to be focused on. And that's really important, and what activities need to be done. Okay. So let's get into the build, because that's what we're doing. We're building a business. So in my opinion, here's month one. Month one would consist of getting trained. Number one, learning what to say, develop your story, creating a plan and a strategy, making your lists. So I was a Boy Scout. So what's the motto of Boy Scouts? Be prepared. See, that's the first step that you want to do with anybody, is help them be prepared for what they're going to deal with. It's so important. And it starts with, you know, the education piece and understanding what this is all about. Now, targets, okay, the targets in this area would be to get 3 customers, and on average that's 768 in retail, and you make your $153.60. Also, there would be another target here to get 1 person to join you and get them, you know, up to about 768 with their 3 sales or their purchases. Or how, again, this is an overview. Now, become an executive, do 1,536 OV, and earn an incentive of 150 Nikan bucks. So there's your first month. You got a new distributor. Here's your first month. You got a downline. Here's your first month. That's the concept. Okay. So now, again, in my opinion, these are easy targets to be achieved if you have the first part done. So let's say it takes 2 months to get started. Fine. Take a month to do your training and learning what to say and stuff, because look at the progression of knowledge and what it's going to do for you. And sometimes we get into this rush to judgment. And then, of course, we sponsor distributors who aren't distributors. They just want it at a discounted price. You don't make any money. They don't make any money. They buy the product, and then there's discouragement. So stop doing those things, and you'll turn this thing around real quickly. Okay. So here's what this might look like in terms of a picture of month one. So there you are, your new distributor, you reached executive, there's your volume, 1,536, your income is 153.60, and you're in the power start of 150 Nikan bucks. You got the 3 retail sales, there's your commission. Wow, okay, so now you have a nice picture of what that looks like. It's kind of like a brick in building a brick wall. It's one component piece. Now, I didn't put in there the training, but you got that's so important and a vital part of it. Okay. So now that you can see what is required, the focus will be on the activities that would create more of this kind of a result. Talking to more people on your list about the products, talking to more people on your list about being a distributor. Find other ways to talk to more people. No, key is doing enough of these activities so that you can get this result. And then the next month builds off of this month. So again, crucial point, 1 month leads to the next, and it's almost like moving up an escalator. It just keeps growing and growing, and you go up, 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 up. But it's all based on the previous month and what you do. So if you did nothing your first month, then you've got nothing to elevate you into the second. So the second month becomes your first month, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So keep that in mind also. Month 2 would consist of 3 areas. 1, find 3 more customers, or create 3 more customer sales from your existing customers, or a combination of both. Retail target, volume 632 points. Estimated income, because you're now an executive, would be 158 bucks, plus throw in a couple of waterfall sales in those and make the performance bonus of 41 bucks. So there you make $199. Help your first distributor go exec with 768 in volume and earned $38 on that. So you've helped your first guy go executive. You've gone up a rung. You're already executive, but you make it on his growth. You're going to see what is happening soon, and then sponsor a new executive that does 1,500 and earn 75 bucks there. What are we doing here? We are targeting a specific result and activity and focusing our attention on getting it done. And here's what I know. What you put your attention on, you're going to get. So if you put your attention on going and finding 3 customers, and that's what you do, and you're on the phone, and then you're going to get those results, or better, or, you know, but you're going to get the results. And again, this is what I've observed my whole career. Where's your focus? But let's, and these are, we're looking at small numbers here, but look what we go back to that chart where they're going to lead us. And that's the important piece of this idea. So your month 2 volume now is 44.36. Well, that's pretty cool, because now you're only 1,600 away from going silver. And your month 2 income was 312. So you doubled your income. You went from 150 to 312. Okay, well, we're making some progress here. Now, here's what it might look like. Again, first distributor, 768 new, which basically is 3 more sales for him, or maybe it's a couple of distributors that didn't put in those details, but you could figure it out. You got a new exec that did 1,500, and then you got your 3 retail sales, or you did some subscriptions, or maybe you got 5 sales. That, again, just an idea so that you get the concept. And again, this month built off of last month, which means that next month is going to build off of the first 2. And we're going to see what we call growth. Okay, so month 3 would consist of 3 customer sales. That'd be 728 in retail volume, $182 in income. Your performance bonus would be about 41 if 2 of those products had waterfalls. Your first distributor does 1,600 points, and you get to silver. So where are you going to target and focus your attention? You're going to help him get those 1,600 points, so you get to silver. And then second distributor does 2,000 in volume, and so he's now elevated. He's got a total of 3,500, which you'll see, and you make $100 on that because you're now a silver. And you make the higher rate based on your rank, and then this distributor does another 3. Your first guy does another 3,000 because you focus your attention on that, and he goes silver. So you've gone silver, and you've created a downline silver, bang, bang, just like that. And over a 3-month period of time, you sponsor the third distributor, you get 720 in volume, make $72. So in that month, you've done 8,000 in volume. You've made yourself, you hit your target, $625. Feeling pretty confident, probably feeling pretty cocky that you set a target and you reached it. That's the game. Set the target and reach it. So this is what it would look like. So again, first distributor starts at 1536, add new volume of 1,600, gets you to silver. Then does another 3,000 and he goes to silver. Your second distributor has 1,500, help him get an extra 2,000. Now he's at 3,500. You can see what's going to be next with him. He's going to go silver next. And then your third distributor, does that 720 in volume. Okay. Your total volume, 8,048. Your total income, 625. You went silver and created your first silver level 1. Now you go back to that big picture and you take a look at it, what you've accomplished. Now you see what we're set up to do for the next month. So based on what was done here, you started with a goal and then you created a plan and a strategy, and that would develop and grow over the next 12 months. And the logical next course is then to go into month 4 with the income target. So again, we talked about that earlier. Go to the end in mind, what is the goal, the 1,250, and then figure out what it's made up of. And that chart will show you exactly what it's made up of. And you can create your own chart and figure out what it's made up of, and what other results that you need to create, and then go to work. I mean, that's it. Then go to work. And as you create and build a team, it gets easier. So the more you have in your team, the easier this becomes. So make sure, again, this is why I said when you're sponsoring somebody, and if they're not a distributor, then you'll get fooled. I've seen this happen too many times. So, think about that one. Now, you have an understanding of how to make the plan work. So you can see how to play with this. The whole idea is to set targets and then get them done and simply keep building on that idea. So you hit a target, then go to the next target, then the next target, then the next target, then the next target, and make sure that those you sponsor are on the same page. And sponsor anybody you can, for sure. No question about that wants to do the business. Just don't get fooled by a lack of production, thinking that you've got a bunch of distributors. and then drive each leg as deep as you can. And you saw in the chart of how it grows, what can happen. 2 can turn out to 10,000. I've seen it. I've been a part of it. It's just truly fantastic. And it's not difficult. It's just focusing your attention. All right. Well, thank you very much for being on the presentation. I'm going to, you'll find the PDF of this in the section below on the website, and we'll stop the presentation here. And we'll go into our Q&A. So see you next time on the Smart Networker. Bye for now.